Welcome to a special episode of Dad's Rules with Kevin Belzer. And today we're going to go over my journey through 75 Hard, the not challenge, but the program. 75 Hard, brought famous by Andy Frisella. Now I do actually have notes and cheat sheet on this one. I rarely ever have anything written down anymore. You definitely get spur of the moment of Kevin Belzer, but I wanted to make sure that I didn't miss anything. I also almost recorded this for last week's episode. However, that would have been cheating. I was not quite done with the program yet. It still had 2 days to go. I want to make sure we were completely through it, and then I could go and cover everything that I experienced through the whole thing with a clear conscience that I actually completed 75 Hard. So you're probably asking yourself, what is 75 Hard? For you that are not familiar with it, I'm going to go over it, and then I'm going to break down what I actually did on each item. So first and foremost, 75 Hard is a program that has 2 45-minute workouts you have to do every day. One of those has to be outdoors. Number 2, you have to take a progress picture every day, no exceptions. Read 10 pages of a self-development book every day. 1 gallon of water, that's 128 ounces of water that must be intaked every single day. No alcohol and no cheat meals. Okay, so that wraps up, that's everything that's involved in 75 Hard. What I want to do with you guys is I want to share my journey through it and what I did for each item, because I have been through this before and I wanted to add a little bit extra into it because, hey, I'm an overachiever. I also wanted to cover with you guys the books I read and just my insight and thoughts on everything I experienced doing 75 Hard. So first and foremost, take a progress picture every day. I have seen people and heard of people that have failed this because they forgot to take a picture of themselves every day. I take a picture with my shirt off so I can see the difference from the beginning to the end of any changes in my physique. And I, going into this, did not have a tremendous amount of weight that I was looking to lose. I wanted to get down a little over 23 pounds total. I wasn't sure if I'd be able to get all 23 pounds off just doing 75 Hard once, but I at least wanted to be on the right track of getting towards there. I feel that my ideal weight is somewhere around 165. Once I hit 165, then I'll know better. So what I noticed immediately is that I did see a tremendous difference between the first picture and the last picture. In fact, the cool thing is if you get Andy Frisella's app, the 75 Hard app, I believe it's like $5 and you only pay it once. Great use of your money. It'll track you and remind you every day that you need to do stuff. So you can actually set it in there to remind you to take a progress picture. So what I did with mine is I made sure that it told me every day by 8 a.m. that I had to take a progress picture. You can give it any time you want. I just did that. So, I need to make sure I do that. So I could get that out of the way early in the morning. Now I get up before 8 a.m., but I wanted to make sure, just in case I'd forgotten to check that off, that the picture got taken by 8 a.m. when it sent me the notification. And if you knew me at all, I do not like push notification. So for me to give anything a push notification means that it's tremendously important to me. So I did that every day. The next thing is the gallon of water. It's 128 ounces. I will say some things you can do to help you out is immediately at the beginning of the day, get 24 to 36 ounces in you right when you wake up. It will help because you do dehydrate as you're sleeping. So it's good to just get that water in you right away. So before I have anything else, I don't drink coffee or anything like that. Before I have anything else, any protein shakes or anything, I make sure that I had at least 24 ounces in me. That gets you down to 104 ounces to go within minutes of being awake. So that definitely helps. I also learned that I needed to front load the water. If you do not front load the water, you will find yourself getting up throughout the night over and over again because you have to pee. Yeah. So front load it. You'll also learn that you can't really get into trouble because you need to go to the bathroom like every hour. It just is what it is. But cool side effect of having all that water is you do feel full throughout the day. So you're not as tempted to have any sweets, anything that's not on your whatever diet that you're going to do, because you do have to pick a specific diet, and we'll get to that here in a moment. So take a progress picture every day, have the gallon of water. Next, no alcohol. Easy for me. I quit drinking in 1995, February of 95. So alcohol is zero temptation to me. Even when I socialize, everybody knows I don't drink. I don't make a big deal of it. You do you, boo. You want to go drink? Hey, that's on you. But I like to be in complete control at all times, so you will never, ever see me drink. I have zero want, desire, need to drink. So that's an easy one to me. No cheat meals. So you can't go, like a lot of these diets, the reason they fail is people go, well, I get Sunday off, and Sunday I can do everything. Well, to me, that never made sense. That means that all that progress you did all week, you're going to now dump 4,000, 5,000 calories on a Sunday. Yikes. And feel like shit the next day too, because there's no way that you're going to feel good. And it's going to be a few days before you kind of feel somewhat normal again. And then you're back in your workout routine just to repeat it again the next weekend. So to me, cheat meals never made sense to me. You're either are eating healthy or you're not eating healthy. You do have to pick a diet. You have to follow a diet. So what I did is I gave up all breads, cheese, and like processed sugars. I don't intake high fructose corn syrup. You may fool me and it may end up in something that I didn't know was in there. But again, not a temptation. I'm very careful on that. But that takes away any kind of desserts, any kind of candy bars, anything. So no sugar, no high fructose corn syrup, stuff like that in it. So I was very mindful of that. And on a side note of that, if you've never done a sugar detox, I highly, highly recommend it. You will be amazed how addicted you are to sweets. And if you do not get a nasty headache and feel like crap during even a short detox, say 2, 3, 4 day detox from sugar, I'd be absolutely amazed if you did not have the crazy headaches and stuff out of it, because each time I've done it in the past, I've noticed that that I was intaking way more sugar than I thought I was. So side note there, if nothing else, I recommend you do go through a detox of sugar at some point in your life. Read 10 pages of a self-development book every day. Oh, let me back up real quick. So on that follow a diet, they don't ever say any specific diet that you have to do. They don't say you have to do paleo, vegan, whatever. They're just saying pick a diet and stick to a diet. So mine was meats, vegetables. It's pretty straightforward. So that was mine. And then obviously I got rid of breads, cheese, and the sweets, the processed sugars, all that fun stuff. So it doesn't have to be, the books don't ever, he's got a book out about it. You don't have to pick a specific diet and that's the only one that's acceptable. He leaves that up to you because everybody's different. Next one, read 10 pages a day of a self-development book. I've found that I read a total of 1,005 pages. You have to read at least 10 pages a day. I found that I am somewhat of an overachiever, so I actually ended up averaging 13.4 pages per day. It's not the only thing I read. I also read the Bible. I didn't count that. I do a reading plan for that throughout the year. I also read a lot of nonfiction too, and there was other books I was reading because I am in some book clubs that have self-development books in them as well. So anyway, that's was my total. 1,005 pages in 75 days was 13.4 pages per day, which ended up being just shy of 5 total books. I wanted to go over the 5 books I read before I go on to the next thing, because I did pick some things out of these. I'm just going to give you a short synopsis of each. So this was the first one. It's called The Persuasion Story Code by David Garfinkel. The Art of Storytelling and Sales. People will remember stories they can relate to more so than some canned sales pitch. So that's what I got out of that one. Next book is called The Power of Moments by Chip and Dan Heath. This is about how our most memorable moments are dominated by 4 elements: elevation, insight, pride, and connection. The book is pretty thick, so I'm not going to go into crazy detail, but that's the synopsis of the 4 things it's covering: is elevation, insight, pride, and connection in relation to power of moments. Next book was Elevate by Tommy Mello. This is about building a business with strong culture where everyone wins, from the employees to the owners. So if you're a business owner, highly, highly recommend this one. For you small businesses that want to become big businesses, this next book, Scale by Nicholas Trevelyan and Jason Von Payne. This is how you take any business and scale and grow it. Again, I really summed up in a very tight choice of words what this is about, but it's obviously way deeper than that. And then last but not least, this is the one I'm still in the process of reading. This is being covered. I'm still doing this 10 pages a day. This is Firelighters 365 by Lou Caralla. Funny thing is, when I first started reading, I misread the title, and so I thought it said Firefighters 365, but it's Firelighters 365 by Lou Caralla. It's daily motivation messages, perfect for coaches, athletes, and leaders in any business out there. I am still on that one. I'm like 260 pages into it. So that will continue. All right. And then let's see, the next one would be the workouts. So you have to do 2 45-minute minimum workouts. One has to be outdoors. Both can be outdoors, but at least one of them has to be outdoors. Now, my definition of outdoors is different than other people's outdoors. I do not believe outdoors is underneath a patio. I believe it is directly under our God above. So, think about it. If I was inside and opened up the windows, I could claim that that is outdoors because a breeze is coming through, just like a patio. Hey, that's just how I look at it. Outdoors is actually outdoors, no protective cover. So what does that mean for me personally? That does mean that I did have 4 days to where my outdoor workout was walking in the rain. It is what it is. No big deal. You just take it and you grow on that. Now, what I found out is that the shortest path I could figure out to walk was 48 minutes long, and I found that one boring. I was usually, my outdoor activity, I used to walk, and it was usually an hour to hour and 5 minutes for my walk because I didn't find that one as boring. I did also have a hike in as one of them, and it wasn't just a normal hike. It was actually climbing a mountain, and that activity took me 2 hours and 15 minutes up to Piestewa Peak and back down. It was about 2 hours and 15 minutes total. So I did find ways to get creative and add other outdoor activities that were strenuous the whole time through. That really kicked my ass. I learned from it that I needed to invest in a Camelback, the water backpack. I need to invest in one of those because the one bottle of water I carried up, thank God it was a nice cool day, but that was not enough for a 2 hour plus walk up and down a mountain. For the indoor workout, I have a coach that sends me those, been sending me those for over 3 years now. So that's already planned out as far as those are concerned. Now, I did not go cold into this. If you've watched some of my past episodes where I talk about New Year's Eve, I'm not a fan about that's the day that you start everything. And it will look like I started this on January 1st because, well, I did start it on January 1st. However, the prep up this time started 170 days prior, when I was walking every day at least 4 miles, and for 170 days straight going into this. And I had 4 days a week where I was also doing another workout. So going into 75 hard, part of my prep up was already working out twice a day. Yeah, before I even went into this. I think that's why this time was so easy to me, because I was already in a good habit. All I do is add in 3 more workouts a day, change my meal plan, which needed to be changed anyway, and add the water up to a gallon. It was falling shy of a gallon of water. So that's what I did on that. And then as far as extra activities, I kind of briefly went over that instead of just 10 pages minimum, I was at 13.4 is what it ended up averaging at the end. I didn't know until I did the math right now. I knew it was over 10 pages, obviously, because that was easy to mark out off. But it ended up being 13.4 pages average per day. So it was a little bit of an overachiever. And then the other thing I did extra was the workouts were never just 45 minutes. Oh, the other thing I added in to the workouts on top of just doing these is I was doing weighted vest, push-ups and sit-ups. I did a lot. They weren't every day, but they were all but a few days. They were in addition to everything I was doing. I tweaked something in my back and had to take a few days off of that, but I did not stop 75 hard at all. Want to make that clear. Still got 2 workouts in. I believe for those 3 days, what I did instead, so I could heal up, is I did 2 walks so that I wouldn't do any kind of permanent damage or anything. Yeah, so that was my journey this time through 75 hard. I wanted to share it with you guys. I had a lot of people reaching out through DMs and through my posting this on social media that were asking about it. I figured it'd be easiest if I just summed it up on a podcast and share it with you all. So I hope you got something out of this. I know I definitely did. And I started it again. So I took the weekend off because I had to run to Flagstaff and didn't see how I was going to get double workouts in. But I still got my daily walk in because I'm at 240 some odd days straight of walking at least 4 miles a day. So to get the walks in, I just didn't do a second workout on those 2 days. So I took the weekend off, and on Monday, I started 75 hard again. Reason I did is that I wanted to go over the weight loss that I had. I was at 188.2 to start. I ended at 175.2. If you're paying attention earlier, I wanted to lose at least 23.2 pounds. So I did not hit ideal weight. Obviously, it went down, which was great. I lost 13 pounds. I wasn't going to stress over it and starve myself. I was just going to follow the diet and do the workouts and all that. So I started this again so that I could continue my journey, get down to that 165, see if that's where I need to be or not, and then work on bulking up. So that's something I did. And the other thing is, people ask, well, why do you do 75 hard? Is it a workout challenge? Well, no. To me, it's not. After I've done this a few times, it's definitely not a workout challenge. What I've found is that, yes, there's working out involved in it, but there's so much more to it. You have to be focused to do everything, which rolls over into everything else you're doing as far as from a business standpoint. So you are getting knowledge in your head because you're reading self-development books. You are getting to where you're able to follow a routine and a schedule, so there's benefit from that. But I've also found that every time I do this, I am way more productive with my job, with real estate. So that's why I'm doing it yet again, because I have such big goals this year. I am seeing the fruit of my labors pay off from this last 75 hard. And obviously, I want to keep it going and don't want to fall down and sleep in and get lazy and all that fun stuff. So I'm back at it again. 75 hard. As I'm recording this, we're 2 days down. I hope you got a lot out of this. I know that I did. If you like the show, like, share, leave comments, feedback, all that fun stuff. Helps the show grow. Also, hit the swag store, dadsruleswag.com. Pick yourself up one of our kick-ass shirts. Until next time, go out and be the kick-ass adult I know you all can be.